Hello guys, kindly check this application out. When we say submit, it says HTML is required, CSS is required, Java is required, and Python is required. Now let's select one each, finally submit, and says what? HTML is 1 month, CSS 2 months, Java 3 months, Python 4 months. So like that guys, let's develop this using React Hook Phone version 7. If you want to type along with me, kindly install the following: npm install Tailwind CSS forms to npm install React Hook Form. Now a quick one with it, npm Tailwind forms. Let's go to Google, then paste it there, then check the npm out. Good. After the installing, we need another require. Okay, so you copy this require to your plugin. So you go to the tailwind.config file and paste it there. So this is mine. So that is that guys. With all said and done, let's begin. Thank you very much. Let's begin by creating two folders in our SRC folder. Call the first one assets, then call the second one components. Good. Now let's take the first one, assets. We have no spinners or images in this application, so we leave it blank. Move to the second one, components. Create a file and call it radio app.js. Now it's RAFCE. Instead of ordinary div, why don't we make it react.fragment? So we say react.fragment. Good. So inside that we can have a section. Good. Now inside this section, let's now have a div and say hello. Let's link that to the app.js to view on the screen. So we go to app.js and call radio app. Good. Let's import it. Import radio app from where? Components, then radio app. Let's check our screen to see if we got hello on the screen. Great, we got hello on the screen, means we're ready to go. Since it's mobile first, let's reposition everything. Good. Something like this. Good. Now let's take the hello off and create a form. So inside I will say form. Now in this form, let's create a div to handle the background. So this background, let's give it a class named bg white, weight auto, height auto, padding bottom 10, margin top 16, mx5, and rounded lg. Now inside that, now we can have our header section. Okay, so we say header section. Now with the header, let's create a div, then say give it a p tag. So inside that we can call it select course. Good. Now let's give that a class name, uppercase, font bold, text 4SL, and text center. Good. Let's give it some height at the top. So over here we give it a class name, height 24, flex, justify center, item center, and give it some shadow. So that is that. Done with the header. Now let's go to the body section. So we say body section. So over here, let's create a div. Sorry, a div. So inside that we need a table. So we call table. Now in the table we need t head and t body. So inside the t head, let's give it er and th. So likewise the t body too. So t body, let's give it tr and td. Now let's leave this and take the t head first. So with the t head, now with the th, let's give it 1 month, and let's give some classes. So we say good, that is that. Let's add 4 more to it. So let's copy everything here. Then say, go back here. Good. So we can now edit it and say 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's take the last one off. Good, like this. Now, so let's give it a class name, the T head section. So we say BG8 in red, text white. Now let's give it a min width, okay, in the for the whole table. So we did give that a class name and say min width full. So that is that. Oh, sorry, 2 months, 3 months, need an S. Okay, let's do that. S. Okay. So that is that with the T head. Next, we go to the T body. So over here, let's call HTML, then give it some class name. Good. So we say thirst left PY4 PX4 uppercase font bold and text XL. Now I realize that the 1 month and the HTML has there's an interference there. We need to push it to the right a little. So we give the T head at empty TH. So we say over here we can say TH. Let's give it an empty one there to push everything to the other side. So that is that. So there's no interference anymore. So now what we do next is to add the inputs to it. So next, let's give it the next TD. Okay, so we say TD. So this is going to be an input. Good. So inside this input, copy this 4 more times. Good. So TD, copy that and say 1, 2, 3. Good. Nice one. Now, good. Let's give the TD a class name. Okay. So we say via this TD over here, give it a class name. Then the next one, 2. The next one, 2. And the last one, good. The center. Good. So that's that. So next, let's create a div to handle the error. Okay. So after the TR, we come down and create a div to handle the error and give it mx4. Okay. So this is going to handle the error. Now let's give the whole T row a background color. So we go up, then say T row. Over here we give it a class name and give it a background color. No, sorry, this is T head. Come on. So T row over here, we give it, oh sorry, no, I give it a background color and say BG 100. Good. So that is that. So next we need to copy this, duplicate this whole the HTML and the error, then we do editing. So we copy the whole TR to the error and the TR. Let's copy everything there. Good. Copy that. Then we create the next section, which is going to be our CSS section. So let's paste it there. Good. So let's do the editing. CSS, let's call it, change the name to CSS. Next, that is that. Good. So let's do that again for the next one too, which is the Java section. So let's paste it there. Good. And change the name to Java. Good. Let's do the last one. We say Python section. We paste it there. Okay, let's go change the name. Python. Good. So that is that, guys. Now we need our submit button. So to do that, let's go down. After the table, go down and create our submit section. Good. So let's down there, let's create a div. Then give it an input, submit, value, submit, and class name. Let's give it some class names. Good. Now with the class name, we say give it width 1/3, height 10, BG indigo 800, text white, font bold, and rounded LG. Now let's give it some height with a div. So via this div, we can say flex, justify, center, item center, and empty 10. So that is that, guys. We're ready for validation. Great. So to begin validation, let's go to Google, then go to React hook form. Good. Let's go to get started. The npm, we've done that already. So now let's copy the use form. Good. So we go back and okay, let's make it bigger. And we go up and say import. Good. Now let's go back and handle the events too. So next is to handle the events. So we say over here, we can say handle events. Paste it there. Next one is going to be handle submit. We say handle submit. So that is that list. So we paste that to there. Now it's console.log data. I want us to make it alert data. So we say alert into bracket JSON dot stringify into bracket data. So that is that. Now next is the onSubmit on the form. Let's check it out. So the onSubmit on the form. Good. Let's copy that too. Then say form, let's paste it there. Good. Now let's check our app if we got empty data. So when we say submit, it's alerts on empty data. Good. Now let's see how to validate the HTML section. So let's go back to the, then copy the example. So we have an example here. Copy that. Good. Then we go to the HTML section. So after the class name, let's give it the register. Let's paste it there. So register, let's give it a name. Name is going to be HTML. HTML. Okay. Now required is true. Let's make that dynamic. Let's bring it down and say give value, give it true, then comma, give it a message, give it HTML is required. Good. So that is that. Let's give it a value. So value, let's give it 1 month. Good. So let's copy this to the others too. So we copy the HTML, copy that, then take it to the other ones after the class name, paste it there. Next one after the class name, paste it there. Next one after the class name, we paste it there. Next one, yeah, that's that. Now the value, let's copy the value too. The first one is 1 month, the second one is going to be 2 months. So after the type, paste it there and say 2 months. So let's copy this and take it to the next one. This is going to be 3. And the last one is going to be 4. So this is going to be 4 months. Good. Now let's handle the error. Okay, there's the error. How do we handle that? Let's go back to the handling of the error and say over here, let's call it so and change the name to HTML. Good. So the field is required. Let's make it dynamic and let's say errors.html.message. Okay, so that is that. Let's check it out. So over here, when we say submit, it says HTML is required. Great. Now let's give this some class name. So we say class name testxm test red. Let's check that out again. Good. So when we submit, say HTML is required. When we click in, it vanishes. So let's do that for the others too. So we copy the register over here. Then we go to the next one, which is the CSS section. After the class name, we change it to CSS. Good. So it's going, the value is going to be CSS is required. CSS is required. Good. Next, what do we do? Okay, let's copy this and I'll take it to the rest of them. So after the class name, paste it there. Next, after the class name, paste it there. Next, after the class name, paste it there. Good. Now the value, CSS, the value. Good. Let's copy this. Good. So CSS side, the type, give it a value 1 month. Go to the next one. After the way type, 2 months. Your next one after the type, paste it there 3 months. Next one after the type, paste it there 4 months. Yeah, that's that. Now let's handle the error. So we go up, copy the error. Then we give it to the CSS section. Good, and change the name to errors.css. Sorry. The next one, errors.css. Okay, that is that. Let's do likewise for the Java too. So we copy this register again and go to the Java section. After the class name, paste it and change the name to Java. And it's Java is required. So let's copy this and give it to the others. Good. After the class name, paste. Okay, after the class name, paste. So that is that. This is the Python. Okay, let's handle the value. So we go copy the value, 4 months. Let's copy that and say after the type, Let's give it value 1 month. Good. So next one, after the type, 2. Next one, after the type, 3. The next one, after the type, 4 months. That's that. Now the error section. Let's go copy that too. Good. So right here, paste it there. You see errors.java. Then errors.java. Good. So that is that. Next is the Python section. Now let's do likewise too. Copy the register. After the class name, paste it there and change the name to Python. Get this is gonna be Python. Python is required. Good. Next, let's copy this and give it to the others. So we say after the class name, you paste it. After the class name, put it there. After the class name, paste. Good. So that is that. Next is the value. So let's copy the value 4 months and go to Python section. After the type, put the value there. The value is 1 month for the first one. So likewise, we go after the type, paste it. It's going to be 2 months. Next one, after the type, paste it 3 months. So next, after the type, 4 months. So that's that. Lastly, let's handle the error section. So let's go and copy the error. Copy that to the Python section. Then we say paste and change the name to Python to errors.python. Good. So that is that. What else? Let's check it out. So over here when we say submit, it says HTML is required, CSS is required, Java is required, Python is required. Now let's try filling them. They'll vanish. Good. So that is that, guys. Finally, we submit. Then we have our months being submitted for us. Now let's make the app responsive. Then we can now say cheers. So to do that, let's go to the mother div, the background. Come on, where are you? Good, over here. Then give it a class, more class names. So we say at small screen, give it width full. Medium screen, give it width 4/5. Say medium screen, give it the MX auto. Then large screen, give it width 2/5. Then same large screen, give it MX auto. So now let's check it out. Let's see if I say submit. Say, can see, guys. So that is that. Thank you for sticking through. Please don't forget to do good. Catch you in the next one. We say peace.